But okay, we'll move on to the next topic here. The Colorado a few weeks ago, they came to an agreement with PointsBet, a sports betting company, just as a sponsor. And Jack, you wrote a column about it. That's up on Sports Pac-12. But there could be a shift in college sports, gambling, what's allowed, what's not. So I'll let you start off, give your take since this was your project that you broke down and wrote about.
Thanks for that. You should not be allowed to have your college athletic department sponsored by a company that you wouldn't allow your athletes to use. That's 100% where they should start drawing the line. If your athlete cannot use it, you should not be sponsored by them. It's great that they're going to be making money from this. That's awesome. If they're going to pay $1 billion, you still shouldn't be using this. If your athletes ever have to sponsor for this, it's disingenuous. It's hypocritical. Why are you sponsoring something that you won't even let your own people use? I don't understand how that can be how the NCAA can allow that, even in states where it's legal to gamble.
Yeah, I mean, it's messy. I guess you're right. I just don't think that's the biggest issue right now. I mean, even if it weren't for coronavirus and all the financial and health issues caused by that, there's just so many more pressing issues in college sports that's pretty low on the totem pole, in my opinion. And then also, I mean, the prohibition on sports betting is kind of, there's a wave, it's ending. I mean, you're seeing states make it legal again nationally. Like there's movements there. And yeah, athletes and coaches won't be able to bet the same way they aren't in the pros. But I mean, that's just the kind of thing you're going to have to deal with. It's not a do or die big doom issue right now, at least in my opinion.
As much as I'm anti-NCAA, as I've made very clear in past shows, the NCAA has the power to actually fix all the issues at once. They don't have to pick and choose which ones to focus on. They can do multiple things at once. They can focus on the small issues and the big issues. So I don't see like, oh, there's bigger issues right now than this. That's not a good reason to not focus on something like this. If the NCAA is truly a national organization, then they need to make national rules and come down on this. Because you cannot.
I mean, players already aren't allowed to bet. I mean, I don't know if it might be a little morally ambiguous or morally gray if an athletic department is taking sponsorship money from them. But as long as it's all like in the clear, none of it's under the table, then I have no problem with it. Athletic departments are trying to make money that is just, they're bleeding cash right now for so many reasons, especially and mostly COVID. So I feel like it's a little short-sighted to say, oh, you can't take money from this company when in a lot of places what that company does is legal. It shouldn't matter if the players and coaches can do it. The players and coaches can't bet regardless of whether or not Colorado is taking money from them. So I just think that there are so many factors going on right now, so many issues in college sports and in the country where I think that would be a bit of overreaching on the NCAA's part that would just kind of be a waste of resources and time.
A bit overreaching is the motto of the NCAA, though, Sam. That's their whole thing. Is don't even give me that face. They 100% overreach on a lot of issues, and then some issues they sit back like.
Yeah, like they underreach on a lot too. I mean, have you seen how they're dealing with COVID?
Oh, it's awful.
Putting up to nothing. They have no power. I mean, I ranted about it plenty of times, but they don't do anything.
For an organization that can ban coaches, that can give penalties to schools just by themselves, unilaterally do that stuff, they can't make everyone follow the same protocols. They can't make everyone do the same types of schedules. They can't make everyone start on the same day, all of that stuff. It's wild. That is insane to me. But
I mean, the NCAA thrives in making rules and enforcing rules. And I guess this does fall into that category, unlike organization and scheduling and other things related to COVID and social unrest that have been a little more all over the place. But I mean, at least you're right in that sense. This is something that the NCAA could do. There's a precedent for them policing something and stuff remotely like this. I just don't think it's really the best use of their time right now. Or I don't even know if it'd be a good PR move for them. I just don't really see the point.
I just think associating with companies like this, where I don't see anything wrong with them. I don't see anything wrong with sports gambling in general. I 100% in favor of being legal, as long as you're of legal age to gamble within your state. Sports gambling should be free or should be allowed everywhere. Just when you're associating with it so outright, it's a little hypocritical to me to bar players from doing this.